I was referring to Thomas Merton's we were talking about this traumatized capacity that we live in. Namely, we're traumatized in our ability to abide in an habitual awareness of God's sustaining oneness with us through each moment of our life. And that's the traumatized state. And there's another lovely quote in Thomas Merton, New Seeds of Contemplation, where he shares this. Matter of fact, I'll read the whole quote. It's a lovely quote. It's long, but I'll just read it and we can. Excuse the sexist languages before they knew better. Every one of us is shadowed by an illusory person, a false self. This is the man I want myself to be, but who cannot exist because God does not know anything about him. And to be unknown by God is altogether too much privacy. My false and private self, the one who wants to exist outside the reach of God's will and God's love, outside of reality and outside of life, and such a self cannot help be but an illusion. We are not very good at recognizing illusions, least of all the ones we cherish about ourselves, the ones we are born with and which feed the roots of sin. For most people in the world, there is no greater subjective reality than this false self of theirs which cannot exist. A life devoted to the cult of the shadow is what is called a life of sin. All sin starts from the assumption that my false self, the self that exists only in my own egocentric desires, is the fundamental reality of life, to which everything else in the universe is ordered. I use up my life in the desire for pleasures, in the thirst for experiences, for power, honor, knowledge, and love. To clothe this false self and construct its nothingness into something objectively real. And I wind experiences around myself and cover myself with pleasure and glory like bandages in order to make myself perceptible to myself and to the world, as if I were an invisible body that only became visible when something visible covered its surface. But there is no substance under the things with which I am clothed. I am hollow, and my structure of pleasures and ambitions has no foundation. I'm objectified in them, but they are all destined by the very contingency to be destroyed. And when they are gone, there will be nothing left of me but my own nakedness and emptiness and hollowness to tell me that I am my own mistake. The secret of my identity is hidden in the love and mercy of God. But whatever is in God is really identical with God, for his infinite simplicity admits no division and no distinction. Therefore, I cannot hope to find myself anywhere except in God. Ultimately, the only way I can be myself is to become identified with him in whom is hidden the reason and the fulfillment of my existence. Therefore, there is only one problem on which all my existence, my peace, and my happiness depend: to discover myself in discovering God. If I find him, I will find myself, and if I find my true self, I will find him. But although this looks simple, it is in reality immensely difficult. In fact, if left to myself, it will be utterly impossible. For though I can know something of God's existence and nature by my own reason, there is no human and rational way in which I can arrive at that contact, that possession of God, which would be the discovery of who God really is and who I am in him. That is something that no one can ever do alone, nor can all the men and all the created things in the universe help him in this work. The only one who can teach me to find God is God himself alone. So thank you.